What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Pzo Malone. We are back with another video. Now today we are going to be reacting to 9 shocking facts about the Quran. Now these are facts, these are stuff that are known to be true, so I can only imagine what's going to come up in this video. Let's get right into this reaction. Let's go. Let's see. Shocking.
Ever since the dawn of mankind, we have sought to understand nature and our place in it.
Yeah.
In this quest for the purpose of life, many people have turned to religion. Most religions are...
That's a fact, man. What do you guys think the purpose of life is? I don't want to get too deep into it because, man, you can go really down a crazy rabbit hole when you're trying to think of what the purpose of life is. So many people, so many different people have so many different meanings of their own life, and you could really get lost in it. But what do you guys think your meaning of life is, your purpose of life, what your passions are, what you guys love to do, or just what your passions of life is? You guys let me know what that is. Let's keep watching though.
We have sought to understand nature and our place in it.
What is your place
for the purpose of life, many people have turned to religion. Most religions are based on books claimed by their followers to be divinely inspired without any proof. Islam is different because it is based upon reason and proof.
Oh, okay.
There are clear signs that the book of Islam, the Quran, is the word of God, and we have many reasons to support this claim.
Let me know that.
There are scientific and historical...
I am a Catholic man. I read the Bible. I just want you guys to know that I'm not trying to get too deep into the religion of it, because I know people have their own opinions, and you believe what you want to believe, and you could believe that. It's all on your personal experiences, the way you grew up in your own life, how you come off. But I will say that I did not know that it was based off real events and it was based off facts. So I'm really excited to see what's in this video, because I love to learn. So I just want to learn and see what's going on.
Historical facts found in the Quran which were unknown to the people at the time and have many reasons to support this claim. There are scientific and historical facts found in the Quran which were unknown to the people at the time and have only been discovered recently by contemporary science. The Quran is in a unique style of language that cannot be replicated. This is known as the inimitability of the Quran. There are prophecies made in the Quran and by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
How you say it? Because I thought it was the Quran. I'm so sorry if that's disrespectful or anything. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody's the religion. So you say it's the Quran? The Quran? I'm trying to...
The Quran.
Quran? Okay, Quran.
Replicated.
I'm really not trying
this
to be
is known as the inimitability of the Quran.
Okay.
There are prophecies made in the Quran and by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which have come to pass.
Okay. Let's get into the facts though, man. I'm trying to learn something.
The following are some facts found in the Quran. Number 1, origin of life.
Okay. Whoa. Origin of life. So you're going to tell me it's a fact in the Quran, or I'm just gonna say the Quran. I'm so sorry. It's hard for me to say it with my throat, and I just never said it before. It's hard. I'm sorry. So they're gonna tell you where the origin of life came from, and it's a fact. Let me know some.
Water is essential for all living things.
Fact.
We all know that water is vital to life.
Yeah.
But the Quran makes a very unusual claim. We made every living thing from water. Will they not believe? In this verse, water is pointed out as the origin of all life.
How?
All living things are made of cells. We now know that cells are mostly made up of water. For example, 80% of the cytoplasm, basic cell material, of a standard animal cell is described as water in biology textbooks. The fact that living things consist mostly of water was discovered only after the invention of the microscope. In the deserts of Arabia, the last thing someone would have guessed is that all life came from water.
Okay.
Number 2, iron.
What is this?
Iron is not natural to the earth. It did not form on the earth but came down to earth from outer space.
Yeah?
This may sound strange, but it's true. Scientists have found that billions of years ago, the earth was struck by meteorites. These meteorites were carrying iron from distant stars, which had exploded. The Quran says the following on the origin of iron. We sent down iron with its great inherent strength and its many benefits for humankind.
Okay.
God uses the words sent down for iron. It is clear from the verse that iron is not an earthly material, but was sent down for the benefit of humanity.
Wow.
The fact that iron came down to Earth from outer space is something which could not be known by the primitive science of the seventh.
Is iron like the strongest material? Because that would mean iron is kind of like what's that shit from Wakanda? It's yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's vibranium. What I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is vibranium.
Number 3, sky's protection.
Sky's protection. Okay, let's see.
The sky plays a crucial role in protecting the Earth. The sky protects the Earth.
What I really want to know is how are these facts that makes me believe that the Quran is real? Because that's what I really believe this title is showing me. 9 facts from the Quran. It makes me believe that everything, well, the facts from the Quran, like, what is showing me that this is facts? All I'm getting is interesting details or things that could possibly be true, but I'm not getting anything that's a for real fact. And I'm a Catholic man, as it says in the title above, so I'm really trying to find out. I'm always open to learning, so I was coming here thinking I'm going to learn something. Hopefully I can in the last couple 9 minutes of this video, so let's keep watching.
Earth from the lethal rays of the sun. If the sky did not exist, then the sun's radiation would have killed off all life on Earth.
Okay.
It also acts like a blanket wrapped around Earth to protect it from the freezing cold of space.
Yeah, okay. I guess you could say that that's kind of a fact, but that's like personal opinion, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's a fact. But is that a fact for the Quran?
If this temperature was to reach Earth, then the planet would freeze over instantly. The sky also protects life on Earth by warming the surface through heat retention, greenhouse effect, and reducing temperature extremes between day and night.
Okay.
These are some of the many protective functions of the sky. The Quran asks us to consider the sky in the following verse. We made the sky a protective ceiling, and yet they are turning away from our signs.
It's funny how he try to make his voice sound like it's coming from the heavens above. It's funny as hell. That's funny.
Quran asks us to consider the sky in the following verse. We made the sky a protective ceiling, and yet they are turning away from our signs. The Quran points to the sky's protection as a sign of God.
Okay.
The protective properties of the sky were discovered by scientific research conducted in the 20th century. Number 4, mountains. The Quran draws our attention to a very important characteristic of mountains. Did we not make the earth as a resting place and the mountains as stakes? The Quran indicates that mountains...
I need facts. Am I getting facts? Like, are these facts? Maybe I'm missing the facts and you guys are going to have to detail them down below. But I feel like these aren't facts. I don't know. I'm missing out on something. Am I? I'm so... I don't know. Let me know something, man.
...have deep roots by using the word stakes to describe them. In fact, mountains do have deep roots. And the word stakes is an accurate description for them. A book titled Earth by geophysicist Frank Press explains that mountains are like stakes and are buried deep under the surface of the earth.
Okay.
Mount Everest, the height of which is approximately 9 kilometers above ground, has a root deeper than 125 kilometers.
Wow, didn't know that.
The fact that mountains have a deep stake, like roots, was not known until after the development of the theory of plate tectonics in the beginning of the 20th century. Number 5. Expansion of the universe. At the time when the science of astronomy was still primitive, the expansion of the universe was described in the Quran, and it is we who have built the universe with our creative power and keep expanding it. The fact that the universe is expanding was discovered in the last century. The physicist Stephen Hawking, in his book A Brief History of Time, writes, "The discovery that the universe is expanding was one of the great intellectual revolutions of the 20th century." The Quran...
I ain't gonna lie. I wonder what people's mindsets were, because A long time ago, they didn't have the knowledge that the people of our time have now, because we have the knowledge of the past experiences. I wonder how, when they learned new stuff and they found things out, like how they were acting, because it's like revolutionary, it's life changing, and then it all leads up to this time in life right now, and our time is going to lead up to the future. But it's kind of like all of that led up to what's happening now. So I wonder how, when everything was starting to fall into place, how people were reacting to the times changing, because that would be pretty crazy. Like everything just going on. I'm just thinking about the past history of things that just happened. I'm rambling a little bit, but it's kind of like, it's crazy to think about the past history of life, and how people will react to it.
The discovery that the universe is expanding was one of the great intellectual revolutions of the 20th century.
That's crazy.
The Quran mentioned the expansion of the universe even before the invention of the telescope.
Wow. You see, like what?
Number 6, Sun's orbit.
Okay.
In
How is that
1512,
a fact? See, okay, the sun's orbit is a thing that everybody in all religions, we all know to be true. Even people, if you don't follow religion, you know that the sun's orbit is to be true. So how is this a fact of the Quran? I'm just trying to figure out how this all ties back to Quran. This is things that are true in life, but how does it tie back to the Quran? I'm just wondering. As I said, Catholic man, like it says in the title, I'm just trying to figure out. I have no idea. I want to learn.
Astronomer Nicholas Copernicus put forward his theory that the sun is motionless at the
But are all of these theories coming from people that are of that religion? Like, if that is a thing and all these people are philosophers that came up with it, then okay, I can understand what you're saying. And then they put it in the I can understand what you're saying. If you're trying to say what I think you are, I can understand a little bit.
The solar system,
and keep watching though.
Revolve around it. The belief that the sun is stationary was widespread amongst astronomers until the 20th century. It is now a well-established scientific fact that the sun is not stationary, but is moving in an orbit around the center of our Milky Way galaxy.
Yep, we know that now in today's
the Quran
time.
mentions the orbit of the sun. It is He who created night and day, the sun and the moon, each floating in its orbit.
Okay.
The Quran would have been wrong according to astronomers just a couple of decades ago, but we now know that the Quranic account of the sun's motion is consistent with modern astronomy.
So what you're saying is, at one point in time, the Quran didn't say that, and now because of recent philosophers' times, now you had to update the Quran and make it factual. Is that what happened in time? You updated your faction of the Bible to make it knowledgeable in today's time, make it factual, I guess you could say. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if this video is showing me facts. I'm just seeing that I'm learning about the world, really. I don't know if I'm learning about the Quran. I'm not trying to make this religious, because I don't really, you believe what you believe in. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I don't know if the facts is factuating.
The ocean. The Quran uses imagery to convey its deep meanings. Here it describes the state of the unbelievers as darkness out in a deep ocean, which is covered by waves, above which are waves, above which are clouds, layers of darkness, one upon the other. When one puts out his hand, therein, he can hardly see it. Those God gives no light to, they have no light. It is commonly thought that the waves only occur on the surface of the ocean. However, oceanographers have discovered that there are internal waves that take place below the surface of the ocean. These waves are invisible to the human eye and can only be detected by specialist equipment.
Okay.
The Quran mentions darkness in a deep ocean above which are waves. Above which are waves, then clouds above that. This description is not only remarkable because it describes the internal waves in the ocean, but also because it describes darkness deep in the ocean.
Okay.
A human being can dive no more than 70 meters without breathing equipment. Light is present at that depth, but if we go down 1,000 meters, it is completely dark.
As it should be.
1,400 years ago, there were no submarines or specialist equipment to discover internal waves or the darkness deep inside the oceans. Number 8, lying and movement.
Okay.
There was a cruel, oppressive tribal
Let me know
leader
some.
named Abu Jahl, who lived during the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. God revealed a verse of the Quran to warn him. No, indeed, if he does not stop, we will seize him by the forehead, his lying, sinful forehead. God does not call this person a liar, but calls his forehead, the front part of the brain, lying and sinful, and warns him to stop.
Okay.
This verse is significant for two reasons. The first is that the front part of our brain is responsible for voluntary movement. This is known as the frontal lobe. A book titled Essentials of Anatomy and Physiology, which includes the results of research on the functions of this area, states.
Okay.
The
Something I didn't know.
motivation and the foresight to plan and initiate movements occur in the anterior portion of the frontal lobes, the prefrontal area. The part of the brain that is responsible for movement is said to be seized if the man does not stop. Secondly, numerous studies have shown that this same region, frontal lobe, is responsible for the lying function of the brain. One such study at the University of Pennsylvania, in which volunteers were asked questions during a computerized interrogation, it was found that when the volunteers were lying, there was significantly increased activity in the prefrontal and premotor cortices frontal lobe region. The front part of the brain is responsible for movement and lying. The Quran links movement and lying to this area. These functions of the frontal lobe were discovered with medical imaging equipment, which was developed in the 20th century. Number 9, pain receptors.
Last
For
one.
a long time, it was thought that the sense of feeling and pain was dependent on the brain.
Is it? It's
However,
not?
it has been discovered that there are pain receptors present in the skin.
Oh, okay.
Without these pain receptors, a person would not be able to feel pain. Consider the following verse on pain. We shall send those who reject our revelations to the hellfire. When their skins have been burned away, we shall replace them with new ones so that they may continue to feel the pain. God is almighty, all-wise. God tells the people
Understandable.
who reject his message that when they are in hell and their skins are burnt off so they can't feel any pain, he will give them new skins so that they continue to feel the pain. The Quran makes it clear that pain is dependent upon the skin. The discovery of pain receptors in the skin is a fairly recent discovery for biology. These are just some of the many facts found in the Quran. It is important to know that the Quran is not a book of science, but that it is consistent with science. To claim that scientific facts in the Quran are due to coincidence would be irrational. The best explanation is that God revealed this knowledge to the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah?
Just like the Quran contains knowledge about the natural world, it also contains information about the inner dimensions of our souls. It relates to our feelings, wants, and needs. The Quran informs us that we have a purpose in life, and that following God's guidance will lead us to inner peace in this life and paradise in the hereafter, and that rejection of his message will lead to depression in this life and hellfire after death. We shall show them our signs in the universe and within themselves, until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth. Is it not enough that your Lord is the witness of all things?
Okay. That was a very informative video. You know, I ain't gonna say it taught me a lot of things, but it informed me on a lot of things that I wasn't knowledgeable of before. It told me things that I didn't know. It tied into a lot of things that I didn't know, but some things I did know, but it just didn't make sense, and it made sense for me. You know, that's what this video was. I don't think this video taught me a lot about the Quran and how it was factual. It just showed me a lot of the ways that it played a part in history. You know, I don't want to make this very religious or make this bad or seem like tug down on the Quran or anything bad about the Quran, because that's not what I'm doing. Everybody has their God, or they have their own beliefs, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. That is not in my ways to try to change your mindset. But in this video, it just didn't show me the ways that the Quran was factual. I never really read the Quran, so I don't know what the Quran is about or what it's trying to leave, but I know that it has a God and it has a Muhammad. It's just like the Bible, kind of. I'm a Catholic man, so I know what the Bible is. So I will say this doesn't show me anything that's factual of the Quran, but I can have open mindsets. Maybe there's more videos that I need to watch. This was just a very informative video on the history, I think, of life. That's what I think this was. It wasn't really a history on the Quran, but a history on life. That's the end of this reaction though, man. We have other reactions on this channel. We have more reactions to come in the future. If you guys could like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, that'd be good for me. And we out.